I have under a minute on the clock. They're just this one guy just saying it again, and being very loud right to the board next to us. Like, I'm on board 1 with Gallagher, and then there's the guys next to us coughing draws in a position that's not drawn at all. I had one of my most craziest games in a long time against a young kid in the 3rd round of the 25th annual Mountaineer Open, my first tournament in West Virginia. It was I really didn't know how to evaluate the position, and I really don't know if I exacted the right plans. So, that being said, I'm playing with the white pieces. The time control is game in 60, delay 10, and it was not enough time. Let's hop right in. I played e4, and he played g6, the modern. And my approach against the modern, after he develops a bishop, I'm just going to control the center, and I like to have a setup with knight c3, bishop e3, queen d2, and castles queenside. And I've also played f3, and I tried to launch a kingside attack. I kind of do a setup-based approach, and his setup against my setup-based approach is very easy for him. So he was able to blitz out the first 10 moves pretty easily, which I guess that's pretty normal. But he develops his bishop, I move my knight out, and we both, well, I don't want to say we were both developing our pieces. I'm developing my pieces, he's not. He plays d6, a6, and he earlier on move 1, g6. So very, very hyper modern. I don't even know what other word there is for it. I play queen e2, and he plays b5. Against this move order, I'm trying to think of the last time I faced this. I've faced this opening in a similar way online a couple times, but I don't think I've ever gotten this in an over the board game. Against this, I do like to play f3 and then h4 to see how he's going to commit his pawns on the king side. So I play f3, he plays bishop e7. Now I play h4. The exact move order, I probably could have played h4 before f3, but I don't think it really matters that much. And at this point, we're both still moving pretty fast. He plays h6. And this is definitely an annoying way to face because black is keeping their pawns flexible. So after h6, I castle. He goes knight d7, which is also a huge commitment. I don't have to castle. One idea that I've seen a couple times is this interesting move a4. Kind of saying to black hey, push your pawn forward, and then white's going to go b3 and knight b2 and knight c4 or bishop c4. So that's an interesting way that I've seen so maybe in the position I could have played h4 and a4, which would have been kind of funny. But after h6, I just decide to castle, which is kind of an aggressive way to play. Maybe aggressive isn't the right word. It's definitely dangerous. It's definitely dangerous because you're committing your king so early, and that's the whole point of black setup. So he plays knight d7, I play g4, and now he plays c5. And here you can really see that black has an easy target, but black's king is in the center. So white, what am I supposed to? I don't have any targets. Black's position in the center and the king side is so solid. If I ever go g5, he's going h5. If I ever go h5, he's going g5, right? He's going to shut everything down and keep his king in the center, and the center isn't open. And it's really difficult to open up the center. But I think my approach was pretty decent. Where I played knight h3, just continuing development. Maybe this knight will hop into f4. Maybe, it can help with, if g5 happens at some point. Let's say he makes a random move. Also, side note, he's never going to go knight f6. Because knight f6 would allow me to play g5, opening up the h file. So he's never going to, play knight f6, so I know that. And if he's never going to play knight f6, it's going to be hard for him to get his rook into the game. But he finds a way, eventually. Let's say, even in a scenario like rook c8, for example, maybe not now, but if I did go g5 and after h5, I could try to prepare this f4, f5 pawn break. Right now is probably not great. I mean, this diagonal is kind of dangerous for white, but still, it's something to think about. How this knight could be useful on one of these two squares. He plays c4, and here I do think for a bit. I think we're about 5 minutes here on the move, king b1, because I'm not really sure where I want to commit everything. Like King B1 is just always a useful move in a lot of these positions. But I don't really want to move my bishop anywhere. I'm not sure if I want where I want to move my knight. Alternatively, I was thinking about knight e2. And then I was like, okay, well, like, you know, is he going to go queen b6? Is he going to go knight b6? Or is he going to go rook c8? I thought he might play rook c8. And rook c8 threatens, like, c3. Although I guess the knight covers c3, so maybe it's not an actual threat. And I thought, like, oh, like, maybe in some scenarios I can go c3, pawn to c3. But, like, I don't know, it just looks too easy to break apart this pawn structure. But maybe that was a decent idea. Instead, I go king b1, and he goes rook c8, I go queen g2. And this was an interesting idea in the sense where I'm, like, waving the red flag. I'm like, come on, attack me. Because he ends up going b4, and, like, his pawns are here. Meanwhile, I still am eons away from getting close to attacking his king. So, like, this was definitely a bold approach, in my opinion. And he ended up doing something that I wasn't actually expecting him to do. Like, if anything, I thought, like, maybe he'll go b3 and sacrifice the pawn this way. Like, for example, if it goes b3, I could, like, take, and then he could go here or something like that, or queen b6, and try to take this pawn. But instead, he actually goes, well, also with b3, I could probably just take and go a3, maybe? Maybe do an approach like this. This could also work, perhaps. It's actually weird to allow rook c2. That's actually weird to allow it. It feels weird to allow it. And now, like, my knight's pinned. That's weird. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, maybe a move like queen g3 would be necessary, so just to unpin my knight. Anyways, but instead he plays c3. You know, I was sort of expecting it, but I played b3. So I was expecting it, and I was going to meet c3 with b3, and now, you know, he plays queen a5, but it's always covered by bishop c1. However, this is a long-term weakness. Like, this threat of mate never goes away, and that impacts the game a lot. I go knight ef4. Like, toying with the idea of maybe bringing my bishop out to c4 or d3. I don't know yet. And also just keeping the position flexible. You know, like, the thing is, yes, this knight is in a weird spot. Yes, it's difficult for me to develop my rooks and stuff like that. But what is he going to do? Like, what is his plan? Note, like, after the game, I was really worried about what I'm going to do with a5. Because, like, a4 is coming, and then he's going to trade. And then he's going to play queen a5 and rook a8 and mate me. Like, that is, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 turns away. Like, I have to do something in the next 4 turns, or I just lose the game right now, right here. And I haven't looked at the game since I played it, so I actually don't know. Like, this might just be straight up losing. Like, this idea of meeting c3 with b3 might have just been a completely flawed idea that doesn't even work. So maybe it's tough. It's tough. If he did play a5, if I play a move like f4, getting connect 5 on the 4th rank, knight f6 actually becomes possible because the fact that the e pawn is hanging is really tough. Like, I don't even know how to defend it. I have to go like knight f2, which I guess looks kind of reasonable, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, that looks pretty reasonable. If it goes a4, then g5, which looks pretty decent, actually, now that I'm looking at it myself. This is still really complicated. If he just goes back, what am I actually supposed to do? I think I have to take. And if he takes back with the bishop, my pawn's pinned. I guess I can go h5. Yeah, I guess I can go h5 in this scenario. And then if he like takes here, and then goes queen a5, I could take, but now I'm getting checkmated. The fact that it only takes 5 turns makes this really tough. I think I am just dead lost. c3, b3, and a5. I think I'm just lost. I'll have to check the engine after we're done here. This is no engine recap until the very end. But yeah, I think I'm just dead lost. I think that's my my conclusion personally. Okay. But he messes up, plays queen a5. That gives me a new lease on life. I play knight f4. He plays e5, which is so crazy. But the idea is that he's moving his e-pawn so he can put his knight there so that, g5 isn't coming to open up the h file. That's what I think. So he plays e5. I take. He takes back with the pawn, which kind of surprised me, but I guess it does make sense. And here I end up playing knight d5, which is perfectly fine. Of course, I would love for him to take me. I get my rook on the open file, attacking his queen. He played knight e7, and I make a huge mistake because I play bishop c4. And the idea of bishop c4 is pretty simple. First, see, he can't castle because knight would be hanging with check. And if he does like a random move, like, okay, this is a really random and dumb move, but let's say he does like rook f8 or something like that. Oh wait, that doesn't. Let's say he plays like bishop c6. Nope, that also helps. Wait. Let's say he plays like a move like rook g8. Bad move. Then I could take the knight, then take the pawn, and the king is overloaded. That's kind of like one of the threats, but this bishop c4 was not a good move. Really not a good move. He just takes my knight with his bishop. And I was actually not expecting that. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, he could take, and then everything's fine. I'm threatening his bishop, and I can attack his queen. Like, that's perfect. No, not perfect. Because he takes with the bishop, and now if I play bishop takes, knight b6. And my bishop is trapped. Like, I'm going to be losing a pawn. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually insane. Like, I can't believe that. Like, if I go bishop c4, he's just going to take, of course, and now my king's open, and b3 is going to be an idea. He's going to castle soon enough, and I have nothing. I have nothing for my efforts. So I actually thought for a while after bishop takes d5. I thought for about 8 minutes. I had 36 minutes after bishop c4, and after e takes e5, I had 28 minutes. And my idea was, okay, well, now he plays knight b6. I'm just going to give up the pawn. I'm going to play bishop d3, and if he wants the pawn, he can have it. I have the bishop pair. His bishop isn't that good right now. I might either keep my knight here and play like f4, or I might rotate my knight back to e4. We'll make do as is. But instead, after e takes e5, he actually just castles. I was like, what? And here I thought from 28 minutes down to 9 minutes. Because I was trying to calculate if the sacrifice after h5, g5, and knight takes g5, if this was winning or not. And my conclusion is, I don't have a conclusion. I don't know. And I think it actually is okay. I think it's okay because it's really tough. Because for him, like, if I sacrifice the knight and he takes, and like, I have these two pawns that are going to be advancing. My rook and bishop can rotate backward to attack him. Like, it's actually really, really tough. An example of how I can lose really quickly is if knight f6. This would be a really bad move. I can go h6 after bishop here, check, king here, and queen h2. That's just mate incoming. So that would be very bad for him. But let's say he makes just a move like knight b6. Well, I can't take this knight because of mate. And if I go h6 now, he's gonna go. Oh wait, this is so good. So okay, I don't think he can go knight b6. I don't think he can. So let's go rook e8, for example. Now if I go h6, he can go bishop f6. And if I go check, he can go king h8. And now his king is actually very safe. His king is actually very safe on h8. And he's going to use my own pawn, to block my attack. But I legitimately think this is an okay position. Because, like, let's say he does play rook e8. Like, I'm just going to bring my bishop back. And I'm just going to start mowing these pawns down the board. g5, g4, setting up an attack. And let's say he plays like knight b6 now. I can always just move my bishop back. And then just like g5. Like, I'm coming in. Although in this case, he does have knight f4. So maybe after this move... Yeah, I mean, now I do have to play h6. And if he goes forward, I go g5. And if he goes back, now I go h7 check. And queen h2. So maybe this does still work. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Like, I think the sacrifice does work. So I think until I have 9 minutes left, and I play h5, and then he kind of blitz out knight b6. Well, blitz out is the wrong word. He thought for 7 minutes on knight b6. And I was like, what? Like, I really didn't think he was going to do that, because I thought what would happen is, like, I would take, and he would take, and I would take, and he would take, and I would take, and he would take. And I was like, I like my chances here. I like my chances here. I don't think I'm losing. I just don't know what to do exactly. Which is funny. But like, maybe I can go knight f2 and knight e4 or knight e3. Maybe I can just start pushing the passed pawn. d6. And like, if knight d6... Well, actually the knight and the queen guard it. So actually, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Maybe after knight d6, maybe now I can go g5 or something like that. And I don't know. It's not so easy. Like, if you take, then I get my knight in, and hello, I'm coming in. And if you push, and I push my pawn, and like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I don't think this is that bad for me. But it does look kind of scary. So this could very well still be losing, but it's really tough for me to say just eyeing it down. This position is too complicated for me. But after I take on g6, he just takes back. I'm like, what? And here, his idea was very good. His idea is, if I spend a tempo moving my bishop back, now he takes on d5, and he just has a clamp on the f4 square. Like, my bishop's hanging, I bring it back because I have to defend against mate. And he just plays like knight f4, one of the knights to f4. And then after I take, like, what do I have? What do I have? I really don't have much. I really don't have much. And at some point, like, maybe I just need to like move my bishop to my king to a1. So then after the bishop trade, b2 can be covered by the rook, by one of the rooks. Like, maybe that's the path. Maybe that's the path to living a bit longer here. Also, after queen g2, I have a threat of g4 or g5. I mean, I can play g5 and try to open up the position. Yeah, maybe that's the path to go. But point is that losing this pawn on d5 way better than what happened in the game. And at this point, you know, I have 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Like, I played after the next couple moves. I had like 1 minute, and the context is there's a board beside us. There's two players. There's an older gentleman, but they're both a bit on the older side. There's a gentleman with 3 pawns and a rook, and the other guy just has a rook. And the guy with the 3 pawns has under a minute, and the other guy with just the rook has 42 minutes. And the guy with that has 42 minutes, every move he's like slamming the clock as if like, he's trying to make every move within like 2 seconds. So he's trying to flag the other guy, and every move he is offering a draw. He's offering a draw, and if you know anything about tournaments, like, you're not supposed to offer more than one draw unless your opponent has offered one first. Like, for example, like if I offer a draw on move 20, my opponent declines. I shouldn't offer a draw first until my opponent offers a draw and I decline. Which, that's a funny situation, but it actually has happened to me. So I have under a minute on the clock. They're just this one guy just saying it again and being very loud right to the board next to us. Like, I'm on board 1 with Gallagher, and then there's the guys next to us who are offering draws in a position that's not drawn at all. And eventually, I'm like, okay, I should have gone to the tournament director like 4 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, and I say like, hey, they gotta stop. Like, I told TD Bob, just like, hey, like, they gotta stop offering. Like, this guy, he's getting really annoying with these draw offers. Those are the exact words I use. He's getting really annoying with these draw offers. And but as I said that, the game was agreed to a draw because the guy with the 3 pawns, he blundered pretty badly, and in my mind, he was blundered pretty badly because of the non-stop draw offers. And I mean, the guy with the extra pawns, I'm sure he knows the rules, but I think he was just too nice. So anyways, that was annoying. But it is what it is. You know, you're gonna face characters like that, you know, in chess tournaments if you haven't. Anyways, back to the game. Instead of going bishop back to d3, I just play f4. And I'm going all in. I am all in the attack. 100%. Let's go. Because, you know, if you take, I'm going to take back. And if you take, I'm going in. I'm going in to f5. And what are you going to do? If you go knight e7, I'm going to push my pawn. And then I'm going to potentially just go f6 right now. And then go g5. Like, I'm shredding everything open. Like, each move comes with tempo. Bam, 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 bam. And I'm here under a minute. Just like, and the guys next to me often draw, slamming clock, you know, often draw. And I'm just here, like, trying to calculate, like what happens, you know, if I play f4 here. And anyway, so I do play f4. And he takes the pawn on f4 first. So he doesn't allow me to go f5. I think that was the right decision. Like, he needs to take the pawn before I hit him with tempo left and right. I take, he takes, I take, and then he takes on c4. And here, probably already, I need to go g5. I need to go g5 right here already. I don't think I want to waste time taking the knight. I might be wrong in that assessment, though, because he can go knight h3 check, which looks really annoying. But actually, my queen guards c2, so maybe this is actually okay. And, you know, if he takes, well, I'm just going to take, and, like, suddenly, like, I'm moments away from checkmating him. I'm moments away. And if he pushes, well, then I can just take. Or, instead of taking, I can just go g6. And if you take, well, now I take, and if you take, then I can go check and pick up the rook. So, I mean, it gets a bit more complicated because now my c-pawn would hang. Like, if this, like, and this, like, my c-pawn is hanging. Oh, wait, no, it's not hanging. Oh, my gosh. That's crazy. But yeah, like it gets complicated, and both of our kings are naked, and like it's just you know what is even happening. So I think here after knight takes c4, I need to ignore it and go g5, and maybe this position is not losing. It's got to be losing. This position has got to be losing for me. But I honestly don't even know. He could even like throw in knight e2 check, maybe. Maybe he can throw that in, because if I don't take it, if I go a king a1, he can go knight b3 check, and I can't take with this pawn because of the pin. If I take here, he has a discovered checkmate. Oh, I have to block first, and then it's checkmate. Oh, and then I block in, and then it's checkmate. You get the point. So, knight d2 check is really dangerous, and if I take the knight, and after it takes and takes queen a3 is just a checkmate threat. I guess I have c4, which is a crazy move. Connect 4 during the middle of the game. And if he takes en passant, well, now his bishop's covered. Mate is no longer threatened. And maybe I can just go rook c2 and hang on to the position for dear life. But this has got to be losing. How is he up material? Oh, because it was a check. Yeah. So it's tough. Yeah, g5 check. Ah, I see. Because if I just take once and then take here, I'm winning though. So yeah, so I really think I should have just played g5. Would have been a lot trickier, even if it is losing. I'll have to check what the engine says, but even if it is losing, I should have tried it. But instead I take back. He takes back with the rook. Now I play g5. Because once again, if he takes my bishop, I made him. So instead, after g5, you know, I'm like moments away. Like, I'm right there. How is he going to deal with my threats? b3. You know, like, the haymakers from above, from both of us. Like, bam, bam. But I get knocked out first, because if I take with the c-pawn, then this is a check. This is just a fork. His bishop is suddenly a monster, and it's actually just checkmate. Like, Oh wait, I leave, but point is still losing. Point is, I thought it was actually checkmate, but I actually escaped the mate. But point is, it's losing. And if I take with the A pawn, well now rook A4. Very, very beautiful move. I can't take because it's mate in 1. If I take, he goes check, I go here, and now he can go queen B4, he can take the pawn if he wants to, and if I take, it's too little too late. It's just mate. So, he beat me to it. I mean, this was a very fascinating game. I really didn't have that much time towards this end portion. Like, after F4, I think that's when I had a minute. And, yeah, my opponent, he's a young kid. He played well, and he ended up going 4 out of 4. So he won the tournaments. I mean, if you took the time, took the amount of time it took him to play against everybody, except for me. Like, so if you combine the amount of time he took during his games for round 1, 2, and 4, it would probably be less than the amount of time he spent for my game against him. And I think he's just like, I think he just plays super aggressive. Like, he just plays an aggressive setup. He's good with tactics, and like, he just played the right opponents, and they just all crumbled really very quickly. So I'm sad I wasn't able to get the win, because my chances of getting the ELO are gone. Like, I'm not getting any ELO from this tournament anymore, because the one guy that was close to me in rating, I lost to. And I beat a 1000, great. I beat a 1300, great. I'm losing ELO. So, anyways, I'm going to turn on the engine here, and let's go through some of the moments. So here, the best move is A3, which is not the easiest move in my opinion. Queen A5, I don't even know what this is saying. Now B4 is coming. Knight F4 is the best move. If B4, Knight C E2, pinning the pawn to the queen. Oh, that's a neat idea. Okay, so B4 is not a threat. And Knight B6, and I just have to defend for the whole game. D5 is a move I'm supposed to play at some point. That's crazy. That feels very unintuitive. This is a very difficult position for me to play already. Anyway, so I go here, and apparently Queen G2 was a miss. A3 was much better, and now he pushes his pawns, and this position is equal. How is it equal? How am I not dead lost here? A5. A4! Oh, A4 being the only saving grace because of B takes A3, and the position is still close. King A2. Wow! This is an awesome maneuver, but then A4. What? Rook B1. Wow. That's insane. And if takes, we take with the rook, and these pawns are just weak. That's insane. That is insane. Wow, okay. G5 for me was better, because if H5, going D5, what's the point? What's the point? Knight E5? What's the point of this? Oh, G5 and D5, the knight can't get out. And if the knight can't get out, well, I still don't understand the point. Rook B8, Knight D4. Oh my god. And it literally wants black to just shuffle pieces. Go back to D7. Because E6 is not possible, because I'm clamping down on E6 so much. Oh my gosh, what? Rook C8. Queen F2. And white has all the time in the world, and black can't do anything. It's literally suggesting like Rook B8, Rook C8. That's insane. I guess suggesting Bishop C8. Knight D3. And it's +3 positionally. That's insane. That's insane. Oh my gosh, G5, G5, D5, clamping down on the E6 square. I can't believe it. And Knight takes G5 here is winning? What? This A4 resource is insane. This is an insane. Oh god. I can't believe I missed this A4 resource. It was better to take with the bishop? It's just equal. So it's still not good to take. Well, this position wasn't that good to begin with. D6 was better. Oh my gosh, mistakes by us left and right. Why is it so much better? Rook D5! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, Rook D5! I completely missed that idea. Queen D8, because if Queen A3, the bishop, the queen would be trapped. And then F4, and I'm in! Knight F6. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, dude. I played so badly. I played so badly. There's so many opportunities there. And here I'm just worse. And here, yes, G5 was the better move. G5 was better. It's still dead loss though. If H5. H5 is the move that saves it, which he could have found. He definitely could have found that move. But okay. I'm gonna hit the game review and give you guys a full thing, but I'll see you guys next one.